Hello everyone, Crafty Carl here. Today we're going to do a wee tutorial on freestanding blocks. Now, I got these blocks from Woodform Crafts. You can get them on Facebook. The designs I do myself, front and back. They come, this wee set here from Woodform Crafts comes with what they call the plinth, the wee chair, and MDF blocks. Now this is all MDF, so you have to paint or design in any way that you want. I do decoupage quite a lot. I've made quite a lot of tutorials on decoupage. You probably watched quite a few. So I design these on the computer, and I print them out and do what I can with various products. The wee chair, it comes all flat packed, and you have to build and put together. Now you can paint these or do whatever, but I did this wee one silver glitter. Excuse my nails, by the way. I've been very busy all week making bits and bobs for craft fairs. So I just glittered this here. I painted it first, didn't really like it, so I decided to Mod Podge it, glitter it and whatever, and made myself a wee cushion and whatever for just to jazz it up a wee bit. So you can see here that I've created these here like this, and I print these here, design these, print these for front and back, and then we decoupage it on. The same with the plinth in the bottom here. You can see I've just created a wee wooden floor effect here to make it more realistic, and here's the design here. So what we're going to do today is just basically replicate this. And this is the design which we'll cut out. This is the plinth which we'll cut out. I went on ahead and I did the wee chair because it was a bit very time consuming. There's wee bits here I have to touch up yet with me holding it. So I'll do all them wee bits later. This is the plinth here. These are the freestanding blocks which you get. And you can see here that we have to build those and glue them on afterwards. I went on ahead, you can see here, excuse me, to save time, and I painted the tops of them and the sides because we're going to be doing, you can see here with the ribbon, it's just nice for it to be finished, and then we can top it off with the wee ribbon going up the side here, and that can be any ribbon at all. I like this Christmas glittery one out now at the minute, which is appropriate to our wee saying Christmas in heaven. So I went on ahead and I did all those last night just to be ahead of time. What else did I do? Oh yes, around the plinth here you'll notice, I'll just show you the finished one. It's MDF. So what we need to do, I've just went on ahead with my wee acrylic pens. Oh, better show you those, you'll be asking me. There we are. They're just ordinary acrylic paint pens, and I just go around the edges of it here just to line it off. So that's all you really do there. Just go all the way around it and just colour in all the way around. Okay, and then that just gives that a finished look as well. So I'll move this out of the way. I do other designs, by the way, as well. Send me a wee message if you want. If you're here later on to be doing sister, mother, grandmother, or any dad, mum, anything at all that you want. I do quite a lot of different designs, and there's more to put up as well of the Christmas in Heaven ones. So give us a wee shout if you want to make anything for coming up to Christmas. Right, so what do we need? We need my Mod Podge. I have a wee bit on here and the pot for handiness, but I normally buy this big one because I get through quite a lot of it. So that's just the normal gloss, the gloss one there. We'll also need the glitter Mod Podge, you can see here, and I have a wee bit left here of the no nails glue that I use to stick these wee blocks together and onto the plaque, the plinth as well. So you'll see all that there happening. I need some super glue as well, so that's in my reach. I have a roller, my famous roller, brush, scissors, a wee emery board for the edges, and you'll need a wee craft knife. So I think that's everything to hand, so let's get started. We'll start from the bottom up, shall we? Would be a good idea. We'll start with the plinth. So move this out of the way for a moment. So what we'll do is I've stretched this here out to the full page landscape. And if you do order these off me, you'll notice that it'll be a wee bit shy off the edge. You can see here, because I can only go obviously as far landscape as I possibly can, and these are just the slightest wee bit too long for my page. So what I did with this here was no big deal. I'll just show you this up close before we get started. I just trimmed it off at each side with a wee bit of glitter tape just to match it off. That's all I did. No big deal. It doesn't affect obviously the product in any way. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut up the edges here, just one edge. We just need to trim off one edge, so then we can line it up along with our plinth that we're going to be sticking it down onto, because I've made it a bit big anyway. So we need our brush and our Mod Podge, and what we're going to do is just smooth this over. There we are, just smooth it over all the area. We don't need too much of this here because this paper is quite light, so it's going to stick down pretty quickly. Try not to overdo the Mod Podge, because I find whenever you overdo it, it creates those bubbles and the wee creases underneath. So you can see here that I'm just covering all of it and gently smoothing up and down. There we go. Can you see that? It's nice and smooth with no big streaks or anything. Okay, so what we'll do is, you see me all right? Let me see, put that up there. So what we'll do is we'll lay our paper and we'll go to the edge as what we possibly can with a little bit of an overhang, just so you can allow that bit of trimming and a nice neat finish. And whenever you get that, smooth hand, just the back of your hand here, all the way up and down. Just smooth that out, and that will avoid any wrinkles and any bubbles. If you've got a wee roller, which I must purchase, just go up and down, and you can see there's not one wrinkle or bubble inside. Oh, tell a lie, there's a wee one there at the end. And that's that. Immediately turn it over, or you can put it aside and wait for it to dry, but it's no problem. I'm just going to lightly go down with a craft knife here, and just lightly, don't push down too hard because the paper's still wet with the Mod Podge, and if you pull too hard you'll rip it on the other side. See, so we can do that. And again with the other side, there's a wee bit of an overhang. Just go down very carefully, not to push too hard on it. And there we are. Oops. There we are. Okay. And we'll just put that aside to dry. And what we'll do now is we'll go on ahead to the wee blocks. So we'll just line up the blocks and we'll Mod Podge all together. Just the same idea. I'm actually using my good oak blocks here. It's cheaper to get the MDF ones off Wood Form Crafts because you're covering them anyway, so it doesn't really matter. You might as well get the cheaper ones, the MDF ones, rather than these oak ones is probably best used for vinyl users, because you want to keep that lovely oak look. Okay, so that's the 3 blocks there now with Mod Podge on them, and what we have to do is we have to cut these here out. So what I tend to do is I cut just the bottom to the line. Whenever you order these off me, I will most probably have all these cut for you, or I'll leave just a wee slight overhang to allow you for trimming. And this is what I just do here. Okay, let's just trim these ready now to pat down. So I'll start with the smallest one first. So you just get it and you just line it up to the bottom. Line it up just to the bottom of your block and allow just a wee slight overhang. And before you pat down, just see if you're still within, you don't want any of the white excess paper on there. So what you'll do there is, see, I'm just a wee bit shy of it. Try that again. It's a bit hard upside down. That's better. And then with the flat of your hand again, or a wee roller, whatever you prefer. Just flatten it down so there's no air bubbles or anything. And we'll just set this down. And then we'll move on to the next one. Okay, and the same idea. We're just going to put it down. Make sure that there's enough of an overhang. And flatten it down with the palm of your hand. And you can see there that we're all within the text and everything's being covered inside. Okay, and we'll pop that down for a moment and leave that. And on to the bigger one now. Okay. Overhang. Much easier whenever you set it down. You can sort of see here. And the palm of your hand. There we go. And that's it on. As easy as that. So we've got that, that and that. And we need to trim these now. Turn them over in their side and we need to trim them. And then whenever they're trimmed, you be very, very careful. And you cut out the backs and do the same thing with the backs. And I'll come back in a wee minute whenever I have all that done. Right, okay, that's all done now. So I just want to show you. Got a wee bit of glue on there. Just want to show you front and back. I went on ahead and I've used my wee nail file and I've just smoothed off all those edges, just like that there. See, and you can see it's a lovely smooth edges there to the blocks. If you just see any wee bits of paper that your trimming knife didn't get off, you can just use the wee small emery board and be careful that you don't go too crazy as to lift your paper because it's still drying. I tend to make quite a few of these at one go and it allows drying time. So what we're going to do now is we're going to stack them. And by doing that, we need my wood glue and something just to smooth it on with. Right, we'll do that. So, and I need a ruler. Sometimes the eye just doesn't do it, so I like to make sure at each side that there's enough. So it's about 2 centimeters that side, and there's about 2 and a bit that side. So I know that has to go over a wee bit to the right. Maybe you'll not be as fussy as me. So that's 2. No, I think I pulled it over too much. 2. Hang on. Tiniest wee bit. Just measured. 2 and a bit. And 2 and a bit. So what I'll do now is I'll just get my craft knife. And I'll just move it to the left a wee bit. And I'll just mark it. And then I know I go to the other side of that. And then that's me. And the right in the middle. Sorry, just trying to get this out. So what we'll do is we'll go to the underneath here and we'll do this. And we'll just smooth it over. This no nails glue is quite good. I did other blocks even last year and they've never come off. So I normally super glue everything, but with the wood I tend to use this here just for that extra security that it won't come off. So and you can use your finger if you want, just to smooth the last wee bit out. Okay, so we'll just find our wee line that we've marked up, go over it a tiniest wee bit, there we are, and we'll push down and make sure that it's lined up here at the front, that you don't have any gaps going up here. Don't worry about this paste, the no nails glue. We'll use a damp cloth and we'll wash off any remaining glue. Right, now we want to do the same with the small one. Okay, so I'll put that down for a moment, and then what I'll do is I shall, hang on, just I forgot to measure this before, two and a bit, over a wee bit, probably won't need to mark this now, it's just sliding, two and a bit, so over a wee tiny bit more, there we go, and push down, just push down and line it up to the front. And you can see that's it all put together. As I say, you can go over with the wee damp cloth if you see any of the wee adhesive out there. So that's that. So we'll leave that for a moment or two. What are we going to do now? Right, I normally allow drying time in that there, so what we'll have to do is ignore drying time for just this here tutorial. And we're going to have to end up then putting the ribbon on. No we're not, sorry. We have to get on with sealing this. So it is quite instant, that, so hopefully we should be okay. So we'll just go on ahead with the Mod Podge here, and we'll do the usual. If you've watched the other tutorials, get the roller out, a good wee dab on there, and we shall smooth that out to seal in your paper and the ink from your design. That's that. So it's going to be hard for me trying to do the back of this, so I'm going to have to allow this to dry for at least 10-15 minutes. So I'll pause the video again and I'll be back shortly. Well, that's me back again. I have went on ahead and sealed the front, and I have sealed the back, and it's touched to dry now. Same with the plimp. I went on ahead and I've used the gloss Mod Podge. You can see the sheen there on both. So what I like to do now is to go on ahead and put on the wee bit of glitter. Now we use this sparingly because trust me, a lot, just the tiniest wee amount of there we go, tiniest wee amount of this glitter covers so much, and there's so much glitter inside it. Can you see it going on? It really is amazing. I love this, especially at this time of the year, because there's just glitter everywhere. And if you don't like glitter, we'll just bypass this stage. You don't have to do glitter. So I just tap it all on. There we go. And then smooth it out. I'll just bring that up now, see if you can see it. How gorgeous is that? Okay, and I'll carefully now just do the other side. And look, it's not even pulling apart. That's only been half an hour since I applied that no nails glue. And these blocks are really set now. So I'll just hold it and do the back here. To speed this up with our, oh goodness, we're on 20 minutes. Sorry people. It's just different stages of this decoupage, and we just have to wait to go through each one. There we go. So that's the back evenly done as well. Leave that there for a moment, and I'll just lightly do this plinth and our nice wooden floor. And how lovely is that? My hubby laughs at me. He says I have too many ideas and I never switch off, which is very true. It's got that bad now. I take a wee notebook and pen to bed, trying to go over to sleep, and you can't, and you come up with all these new ideas. Who else does that? You can send me a wee message in the comments here if you want. Alright, there we go. That's the plinth, the wee bit of glitter on it now as well. I won't add too much, that's enough. Can you see it there? I'm just holding it up to the light there. Isn't that just gorgeous? Right, there we go. So we don't need the roller anymore. We don't need the glitter anymore. Nope. We're just going to use the ordinary Mod Podge now to put on. Put that aside for a minute. We're going to put the ribbon across the top here and all the way down. Some people, they do it like this. I like it going down each step. I just find it a bit neater. So roughly work out how much ribbon you need there, but just holding it down. There we go, and allow a wee bit extra. There we are, put that aside. So, and with it's not even sticky. With that glitter, you know, it sort of does its work, and that's that. You don't really have to be overly careful with it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to glue up the Mod Podge here up the side now of the steps to hold this ribbon in place. You can use satin, silk, whatever ribbon, or this paper ribbon that I've got here. Whatever you've got, use it. There's no set in stone way of what you have to use or what not to use. And just be careful that you don't apply too much, because it'll go over the side, which is just done now with me. But we'll wipe that off, don't worry. Wipe it off before it dries. And what I tend to do is I get a wee bit of the super glue as well, and I just put it on the steps. Just put a wee bit on the steps, because that'll help for it to set quickly, rather than waiting for the Mod Podge to dry. There we are, because we want to do this quickly. I think I might need to open a new thing of glue. I will in a minute. So, start at one end and just hold it down. Okay. And it's as simple as that. Just go all the way up over the steps until you have it in place. What I tend to use is a wee a spatula or one of these emery boards, and you're holding it down in place. So, like that. You see what I'm doing here? Hold it down. And don't worry if it rises. You can push it down again in a wee minute. Just concentrate on your steps. Hold it down. And up the way. See what I'm doing here? Just push it off. Push against it, sorry. And across the top. Get your stick, hold it down. Push down. Okay, turned around. hold it down, push down in against the step. Okay, lift it up and again push down the side and hold down and against the step. Push against it here. Should help seal it. And that wee bit of super glue too will help. I find whenever I'm sort of doing it on its own, it doesn't dry quick enough and then it sort of lifts. So that wee extra bit of super glue or any other glue that you have that's going to be instant will be handy for this part. Okay, and the last wee bit, hold down and just cut off the excess. There we go. There we are. Okay, and now we need another wee bit for the top. We actually need two because we're going to make the ribbon. You probably saw me doing these in other wee tutorials before with the stacking blocks. So a wee bit of glue. If there's any left in this bottle, nope. Hang on. Okay. There we go. A wee bit in the centre. And what we're going to do is hold this in place for a moment. Just in the centre. Lift over, hold in place in the centre, tuck it underneath. You see what I'm doing here? Tuck it underneath and hold down. Just for a wee moment. Watch your wee doesn't stick. Or don't super glue your fingers like I normally do. Nope, hang on. Depends on the ribbon. Some ribbons stick straight away, and then I think it's this glittery stuff that just needs a helping hand. So we're just holding down into the centre here. See what I'm doing here? I wonder why my nails is so bad. So that's that, and then we did another wee bit for the centre. So super glue again. And we'll hold down onto the centre of the glue, try and keep it even. And the other bit tuck underneath. Hold down. Wee bit of super glue just there. And you can come right down into the centre with your stick and do that. And hopefully all that glitter will glue and not annoy me today. That's why I have so much glue in my fingers. Right, will we use the silver heart, or I think we will use the silver heart. I know the chair's blue, but maybe my wee heart's, don't know. I think a wee heart would be better. No, this is just going to be a bugger today. Right, whenever this happens, I find other means of ways to glue on. So I have this paste out here anyway for the no nails glue. I'll just stick this on and this will work. It's just the glitter. The glitter tape can be a tad annoying with the super glue. If you have any other glues that would help this here, let me know. There we go. That's that. Okay, so because the wood or the super glue is not working on that glitter, I'm just going to use a wee bit of paste of this no nails glue on this wee glitter heart here. It's drying up on my there we are. And that'll set perfect, so it will. So that's our block made. Okay, the wee ribbon on top, the wee heart and everything. Oops, my wee hoop here, let me fix that. There we are. So all we have to do now is position the, oh no we don't, we have to do the wee thing. Now, as I was saying earlier, there's a wee shortage here in the end of the plinth, so all you have to do is either colour that in, the silver that you have around the edges, or do what I did yesterday. We're going to we're just going to do this here. We'll match our block, and we'll cut off 2 of these here just for the edges. So we'll just add a wee bit of this here on. Even Mod Podge might have put that on. I think I used Mod Podge yesterday, but I have this out now anyway, so we'll use this. I can rinse off the excess in a minute. We just need to get this tutorial finished, wouldn't we? What are we at now? Oh my goodness, this is the longest now, I think. 32 minutes. Sorry. Right. So we'll just stick this down on the edges. And the other side. Remove any excess glue there. And we'll just trim off the wee overhangs. There we are. So we have our flooring, and then we've got the wee glittery edges, if that's what you want to do, or colour in. Entirely up to you. It's your design. You decide what you want to do with it.